JSM admins rejoice. My good friends over at Salto who are sponsoring this video have just released some new JSM capabilities that you're really gonna like. If you've ever struggled with migrating from your Sandbox environment to your production environment and had to keep track of all of these changes that you did in Sandbox and make sure that they make it over to your production environment, well then today's video is going to be very special for you because I'm going to show you how Salto can help solve this nightmare of a problem for you. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel, drop a like if you get value out of this video, and don't forget to check out the link down below as you are definitely going to want to start a free 30-day trial to Salto Configuration Manager. Let's jump into a JSM project and let me walk you through a typical use case. So here we are in a JSM project. I'm going to go to my project settings and I'm simply going to add a new request type. So at this point, again, usually you're adding a lot more fields, you're adding a lot more customizations like your workflows, making fields required, yada, right? You're doing your typical JSM administration. So once you set up your JSM just the way you want it, and once you've gotten your approvals, it is time for you to move over to Salto. And now we're gonna go into the Salto tool and I'm gonna walk you through a typical use case and what it looks like over there. So once you've logged in, you're gonna come over to settings and you're gonna click on connect an application. Now I've already connected my two environments, so I'm at my limit. But what you're gonna be able to do is follow this article here, which I'm gonna link in the description down below. And this one's gonna walk you through what you need to do. So let me show you what this looks like inside of Salto. So at this point, I've already done a fetch for my Sandbox. So all the changes that I just made are now available in Salto and Salto's aware of them. So I'm simply gonna come over here and I can expand the records. And as you can see, everything is in here. Your dashboards, your fields, your screens, everything's in here. The project is in here as well. And then you can expand and find your project. Alternatively, I'm just gonna type in demo because I know my project started off with demo. And so now I can simply go down to my projects. And as you can see, it's gonna find all the projects that have this demo in them. And here's my demo service project. I can click into it and here's all the settings that are respectively associated to that project. But we're looking specifically for my request type. So I just made the new one. So I'm gonna come over here to request types. And I'm gonna find the request type that I just made, which is the Salto demo. As you can see, it's all in here, which is good, but now we gotta get this configuration and we wanna move it over to our production environment. Now, I don't need to fetch my production environment because I didn't make any changes over there, but I'm gonna deploy these changes from my Sandbox that way. So let's go look at how to do that. So in the compare and deploy here, we're simply gonna click on this compare and deploy button here. We're gonna name the source, which is our Sandbox. We're gonna go to the target, which is our main production Jira. You optionally, in case you haven't done your fetch, you can do a fetch now. And then give it a title, move request type. I'm gonna hit compare and deploy. And then Salto is gonna do its thing. It's gonna go and find all the different changes. We have 57 additions, modifications, deletions, everything. Now I only want my request type. So we're just gonna look up request over here in the search. And as you can see under project, we're gonna keep coming down. We're gonna see request types and here's my Salto demo. I'm gonna simply click on this because this is the only thing I want. And notice that it has a little plus sign because this is a new thing, it's added. Notice that it doesn't have a modification or deletion because I didn't touch any of those, right? Although if I wanted to, I could bring these changes because Salto is comparing my Sandbox with production and it's telling me, hey, this item has been modified and this item has been deleted. Now I don't want to bring those. I only want to bring in the new Salto demo request type that I made. So I'm just going to select that. And then I'm going to click on preview deployment. Now, as I do that, you see, it says you haven't selected one requirements. This will prevent elements from being deployed. You can select the required elements in the dependencies tab. So what you want to do here is you don't want to proceed because Salto is smart enough to go, hey, you're bringing in the request type, but that one thing you're trying to do has a dependency on something else. So I'm gonna click on dependencies here and you're gonna see that it's going to find a field, my number of awesome plugins. Now this is really critical because what this is doing is it is remembering and it is identifying that, hey, even though you're only trying to bring the request type, that request type is dependent on some other action that you did, that custom field that I created. And this is where the true power of Salto comes to light, because now I don't have to always remember everything. Remember, I was talking at the beginning of the video that manually moving these items from Sandbox to production can be error prone. And this is exactly why, because sometimes you forget, right? Sometimes there's weeks that pass between when you made these changes to when you actually deploy them, and you could have forgotten that you made these custom fields, and then the headaches begin as a Jira admin. So with Salto, it's going to remind us. So all we need to do is like say, yes, we want to bring this over as well. Our dependencies are going to be cleared out, and then we're going to be able to hit preview deployment, and then it's going to do its thing. Once it knows that we are now bringing in the custom field and the request type that we want, it's going to analyze everything, and it's going to put everything together for us. It's going to check for any problems, and then it's going to basically give us the option to just push. So we do a confirmation here. We're going to bring the request type. Yes. We're going to do our custom field context and our field. Yes, we want those as well. And we're just going to do a deploy and push. And now it's going to push all those changes into our production environment, and it worried about everything for us. So myself as a Jira admin, I didn't have to worry about it. Salto took care of all the worrying for me, which as a Jira admin, this is worth its weight in gold. Now, the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to jump over, not into our Sandbox, because this is done, right? The deployment has finished. We got a successful confirmation. We're going to go into our production environment. So I'm going to switch back over to my production Jira, and I'm going to go to the same JSM project that we were just doing in the Sandbox. So I'm going to simply click over here, go to service management, go to my demo service project, and then I'm going to go down to my project settings, go to my request types. And what I'm expecting to see is my Salto demo, which is here. And then when I click into it, I am expecting to see that custom field, which is right here, number configs. Now this right here is super awesome because again, I didn't have to do a whole lot of anything. All I did was a few clicks, and Salto took care of the rest, which as a Jira admin, this saves me time, and most importantly, saves me some headaches because Salto is going to manage those dependencies for me. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you check out the link down below so you can start a free 30-day trial of Salto Configuration Manager. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to drop a like if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.